Students, welcome to today's IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I am broadcasting to you from beautiful Central Europe, Budapest. Hi Pro Safa, hi Tina. Hello everyone joining in. Today we are doing some listening with some examples and strategies. Materials come from our websites, aehelp.com for academic version of the exam and GIELTShelp.com for the general version. Check us out on those websites. You can use the code LIVE20, LIV20, for a 20% discount. If you have questions, send me an email to adrian@aehelp.com. That's my name, ADRIAN. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing and want to get some of our merchandise, check that out on our channel at Teesprings. T-shirts, mugs, stickers, and more. And now let's get right into the lesson. All right. We are looking at our exam book. Number 1. Exam number 1. You see it says it's a review test. This is our first test in the exam book. After the curriculum test, we will be doing these listening sections together in a moment. Students, get ready for listening section 1. I'm using my headset microphone and a nice Bose speaker. Everything's on maximum volume on my side. So if you find it to be a little bit quiet, turn up the volume, use a headset. Students, please don't write your answers into the chat. Give everybody an equal chance to do it on their own. Hi, Hoon. Good to see members in on class. All right. So I'm just going to jump over to our website here. Up at the top, I log into my student account. Once I'm in my student account, I go to my audio CDs tab. You can use our website, by the way, on your phone or tablet as well. It will resize to any screen. It's absolutely responsive. And this is CD1 listening section 1. Get ready to listen. I know it's quite bright for you because of the bright background, but that'll be gone in a moment. Here we go. Everybody get ready and let's start.
Audio. You will hear several different recordings and you will answer questions on what you hear. There will be time given to read the instructions and questions, and you will be given a chance to check your work. The recordings will be played only once. The test is made up of 4 sections. At the end of the test, you will have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Now turn to section 1. Listening section 1. You will hear a conversation between 2 men as one of the men registers for a football league. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5. You will see that there is an example. This time only, the conversation relating to this question will be played.
Hello there. I'd like to register for the Autumn Men's Football League.
All right. In what town will you be playing?
I'd like to play in Chester, though I'd be willing to travel to Liverpool if I had to.
The man says he wants to play in Chester, so B has been indicated for you. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5.
Hello there. I'd like to register for the Autumn Men's Football League.
All right. In what town will you be playing?
I'd like to play in Chester, though I'd be willing to travel to Liverpool if I had to.
Well, we have 2 spots left open on the team in Chester and 5 spots open on the team in Liverpool. There's a very good chance you would have to try out for the team in Chester. Are you a good player?
I consider myself a good player, yes. I have been to a number of the Autumn Men's League games in the past, just as a spectator, and I'm sure I would have no trouble fitting in.
Okay, good. So we will register you for Chester then. I just need to get some information from you, starting with your position. Where on the field do you prefer to play?
I'm a midfielder, although really I can play anywhere aside from goalkeeper.
Oh, I forgot to ask your name.
Right, I guess that's important. My name is Steve Trammell.
Would you mind spelling Trammell for me?
Certainly, Trammell is spelled T-R-A-M-M-E-L-L.
Right, now I need your home address, including your postcode.
I live in Chester, of course, at 452 King George Avenue. The postcode is MS868P4.
MS868P4?
Yes, that's right.
And your date of birth, sir?
The 8th of September 1986.
Okay. Now I need your phone number. Just a mobile number will do.
I don't have a mobile phone right now, unfortunately. I can give you my girlfriend's number instead.
That would be all right, I suppose.
Good. Her number is 329-633270.
Fine. I think that's all the information I need to gather from you. Do you have any questions?
Yes, I do have a couple. First, when does the season start?
The season starts on the 28th of September, although your first game is later, I think. Let me check the schedule. Yes, your first game is October the 1st in Liverpool. Let me make a copy of the schedule for you.
Thank you. Could you also tell me how long each game is?
Each game has two halves, 40 minutes each half, so the game is 80 minutes long.
That's a little shorter than the other leagues I've played in. Games are usually 90 minutes.
Yes, our spring and summer leagues are 90-minute games, but our autumn league has only 80-minute games. I think it has something to do with the poor weather.
You now have some time to look at questions 6 to 10. Now listen to the rest of the interview and answer questions 6 to 10.
Okay, can you tell me how many players are on each team? And I mean on the whole team, not just the players on the pitch.
Usually there are 5 additional players to the 11 on the pitch, so there are 16 players on each roster. We generally find that to be the perfect number. It allows for a few players to miss a game, but still allows lots of playing time for each player.
Yes, playing time is what I was worried about. I don't want to pay my money and then sit on the sidelines the whole season. Are there minimum playing time requirements?
Yes, each player must play a minimum of half a game, so you are guaranteed at least 40 minutes of playing time per game.
Wonderful. That puts my mind at ease. Could you tell me what facility we play at in Chester?
That information is on the schedule, along with the addresses of all the other facilities in the league. Here's your schedule.
Thank you. Oh, good, it states we play 2 streets from my flat. How convenient.
That is very lucky. Do you have any more questions?
No, I think that's it. Oh, wait, how much does it cost to register?
It's going to be £125 for the season, including all fees. How would you like to pay?
I'll be paying cash.
Right. Would you like a receipt? If you find that it doesn't work out time-wise, you can always bring the receipt back and we will give it to you.
That is the end of section 1. You will now have half a minute to check your answers.
And always use that half-minute, students, to check your answers. Just going to pause the audio and we'll go back and answer these questions together. Here we go. All right, students. So in the beginning, you probably noticed that when the instruction time, or during the instruction time, while you heard the instructions, I did something interesting. I quickly reviewed the topic of all of the other listening sections, okay? So this is an interesting kind of trick. It's not really it's a bit of a strategy, but it's an interesting type of trick, okay? Now, it doesn't always work because sometimes the examiner will say, please don't turn the pages, but it works let's say half the time. So okay, there's no strict rule that you're not supposed to look at the other pages. They just say follow the instructions. Okay. Thank you, Marina, for commentating on the shirt. So here's a nice trick to help you score better in the listening. During the instruction time, it's roughly about 90 seconds. Look at the topic of each section, especially difficult sections 3 and 4. Okay? If the examiner or proctor says, hey, don't do that, just look at section 1. Say, oh, sorry. And turn back to the right section. Okay, many times students say that, hey, there was no problem. I was able to look at the topics. It really helped me, and that's great. Again, there's no hard rule that you shouldn't do that. It just says follow the instructions, and the instructions say look at section 1. All right, so again, the idea here is during the 90 seconds, you look at, of course, you're turning pages if you're doing the paper exam. In the computer-based exam, I don't think you can do this. It won't let you look at section 2 until the audio gets there. So that's a difference between the paper and the computer-based. Pay attention to that. So in the computer-based, I don't think you can move forward until you're done answering section 1. So you can only do this trick with the paper-based version of the test. So here I look at section 2 and what was the overall capacity of the Titanic? So I noticed the word Titanic, the third class ticket, then I have pictures about the Titanic. So I know that section 2 will be about the ship, the famous boat Titanic. Sana says they still don't let us do it. Sana, some test centers, some examiners, they don't really care if the students flip a couple pages. Some do, so you have to, it kind of depends on your situation. Anyway, section 2 is about the Titanic. Section 3, what day of the week does the discussion take place? It's a discussion. Usually from the first question, you can figure out what it's about. So it only takes a few seconds, okay? The group task, when it's completed, so it's a group project. Section 3. Then section 4, boom, climate change right away. So I know that that's what I will listen to a little bit later. Okay, let's go back to section 1, and now you can tell me your answers, and we will compare and see how you did. For section 1, you get one example. Where would the man like to play football? Chester. Okay. How many football matches has the man played in the league? Anybody? What was the answer for question number 1? How many matches or how many football matches has the man played in the league? Is it A, B, or C? So 10, 0, or 40 to 50. Okay, a lot of you are answering C. Hi, Parvinder. Nope, nobody has the correct answer so far. All right, looks like you're having a little bit of trouble. Sometimes question 1 can be a bit tricky. What can I do? All right, Hong says it's B. Why do you say it's 0? Amina says it's 0 as well. If you're having trouble, look at the transcripts. The transcripts are the scripts for the audio in the back of the book, okay? So here are the transcripts. Here's what they say. And this is what the man says. Steve says, I consider myself a good player, yes. And here you see the bold. I have been to a number of the autumn men's league games in the past, just as a spectator. That's where answer number 1 is coming from. So how many games has the man played in? I have been to a number of the autumn men's league games in the past, just as a spectator. So what's the correct answer? The correct answer must be 0, B, because he only saw the games. He didn't actually play. So it has to be B at 0. Now you got it. If you miss the question, if the first one is a bit difficult, don't panic, okay? Don't be like, this is crazy. Just do your best. Come back to it. Okay, and what position does the man play? So number 2, what position does the man play? Santa says, it's B, as I told you, people. All right. What position does he play? He says, I am a, and he uses a different word form. He says midfielder instead of midfield, but A is correct. So that's A. This one is B. So in your answer sheet, that would look like this. Okay, 1B, 2A. All right? So, Marina, a midfielder can be a good player. Midfielders can be good players. He does say I can play any position aside from goalkeeper, so he is an experienced player. I think, Marina, maybe you're asking about number 1. How can he be a good player? How many football matches has the man played in the league? Marina, the question is in the league, not how many football matches has the man played. It's how many has he played in this league. Students, always pay attention to details. That's why this is 0. The man can still have played hundreds or even thousands of matches, okay? All right. Let's go to the next set of questions. Dictation questions are very common for part 1, where you have to listen to numbers and names and addresses and dates. Here you have to complete the answer with no more than 3 words. This person's name is Steve, and he spells it. And Nirmaljeet Singh has the correct answer along with Farhan. Tina, it's M's, not N's. You cannot make that mistake, okay? So it's Tramel, spelled T-R-A-M-E-L-L. So he says T-R-A-M-M-E-L-L. So watch that, double M-double-L, Tramel. And he lives at 452 King George Avenue. Okay, what is his postcode? Tramel. Haung, don't forget the second L. For doves, the second vowel is an E. Marina, it's 2 M's, not 2 N's. Okay, careful with that. The correct postal code is MS 868P4. Okay. The spacing doesn't matter. So in the UK, they usually have a space there, but it doesn't matter. You can just write it as 1. Write the letters as capitals, so big M, big S instead of small, okay? Big P, make it nice and clear. So MS 868P4, fantastic. And then he gives his birthday, 8th of September, 1986. He gives his contact phone number. And now we have match the time with the event. For these kinds of questions, students, really pay attention that you see the number here for number 5, and you see the number here for number 5 as well. Pay really careful attention to this part here. If you miss it, you might miss this question or this answer here. Okay, so Steven's first match is A, B, C, or D. Okay, so A, B, C, or D. Bashar, yeah, you can write all in capital. You can write all in capital letters for the listening and reading. Okay. Yeah, so his first match is October 1st. Okay. Bonus question. When does the season begin? Let's see who's paying attention to the listening. When does the football season begin? There's the coffee mug there. Thought you might like that, Marina. If you like the shirt, like the coffee mug. All right. It is 28th of September. Haung Harminder, very good. Yeah. So the man says the season starts the 28th of September. However, your first game is later than that. It is October 1st. So the correct answer is D, because you're matching with Steve's first match, not the start of the season. Okay? Pay really, really careful. Thanks, Marina. I thought you would. So, yeah. Make sure to match with the correct information. All right, let's keep moving. Here we go. It's a small fill in the table here with this one. Okay. So here we have to complete this table. No more than 2 words. Pay attention to the headings. The league, it's the Autumn Men's League. The game length, it's 80 minutes. Okay. How many players on roster? So how many players does each team have? Gersham Singh says 16. 16 is correct. There are 16 players. Okay. Use the number instead of the word. So, of course, you can have 16 like that as well. But if you make a spelling mistake, it's wrong. So numbers are easier. What's the minimum playing time? What's the minimum playing time? Number 7. Minimum play time is, okay, for Dobbs, be very, very careful. It's 2 words. You need the word minutes. Okay, so 40 mins like that, or write it out, 40 minutes. You could also do it as 40 minutes like that. This is probably the easiest with M-I-N-S. Be very, very careful not to miss the word minutes. If you don't have the word minutes in this case, it will be wrong. Okay, so careful, careful. Pay attention to detail. Don't lose easy points. Okay, IELTS is specific. It's specific. Okay, number 8. Why does the man say he's lucky? Now, this is a multiple choice. Multiple choice you should answer without looking at the choices. So you should be able to say, well, he is lucky because, and then finish the sentence. So he's lucky because he lives close to the field. Right? He's lucky because he lives close to the field. And, oh, look at that. C matches. The playing field is close to where he lives. And all of you said that as the answer. But again, it's really important to catch that information on your own. Okay, part 1, multiple choice. It's easy. Part 2, 3, 4 gets much more difficult. You should practice answering on your own. Okay, questions 9 and 10. No more than 2 words. What is the cost of the football league? So how much does it cost? Again, pay attention to no more than 2 words. Okay. Nirmaljit, same important point as for 40 minutes, right? Harminder, Dinza, for Dobbs, much better. Yeah, you notice that they don't give you the pound sign here. It's 125 pounds, or you could have 125 pounds, like that. Make sure it's plural. This is the easier one with the symbol. Okay? This is correct. This is correct. Just make sure that you have that S on pounds. How does the man pay for the registration? So how does the man pay for this registration? Credit, cash, check, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency? It's cash, right? Cash, not crypto. All right, yeah, it's cash it is. It's just one word. In cash is okay. If you write in cash, that's fine. You won't lose marks, okay? Please don't write a dollar sign, okay? This is not acceptable, all right? That just means money. It doesn't mean cash, all right? And definitely don't do crypto, okay? That's really not going to get you a point. Yeah. All right, you get it. So cash. It is okay to write all capital letters. Buy cash, Rahul, is okay. If you say buy cash, that's fine also, all right? Okay, students, fantastic. How did you do? What did you get from 10? So how many did you get correct out of 10? This is from 10. It's your raw score. What did you get? How did you do? For Dobbs, 8. Fantastic. Tina, 9. Superb. Arminder, 10 out of 10. Brilliant. Perfect score. Very good. Okay. Osama Maidarak, 7. It's not terrible, but for part 1 students, you really want to get 8 or higher. Okay. If your goal is to get a band 6.5, band 7 on the exam, you really need to get 8, 9, 10 correct on section 1. Section 1 is the easiest section, so you should aim for a very high score. You should aim for 8 to 10, okay? Because in most cases, students' scores go down section by section. Oftentimes, students who get 8 or 9 in section 1 get only 4 or 5 correct in section 4. Let me put it to you this way. So a student who gets 8 out of 10 for section 1 will often get between 6 and 8 for section 2, okay? And then their score, this is what we see on average, for section 3 will be around 6, 5 to 6 out of 10 for section 3. And then for section 4, it will be 4 to 5, correct. That's the averages, okay, out of 10. So if you count it like that, then let's say if they get 8, they get 7, that's 15. They get 5, that's 20, 24, 25, that's just a 6.5 band. Does that make sense? I hope that kind of made sense for you on how students most often will score. So it's very, very common to see that kind of a trend. It's a downward trend on the scores, okay? Nimish, there is a score calculator on our page. I believe 34 out of 40 is a band 8, but you can check the score calculator on our website. All right, students, let's do section 2 together. Get your pencils, paper ready. Again, please do not write into the chat. Give everybody equal chances to answer. We will do section 2 together now. So let's do this. Here we go. Volume is maximum for me. So if it's quiet for you, turn up your volume. Use a headset. Okay, we're going to jump back to our website. Get going on track 2.
Now turn to section 2. Take some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Listening section 2. You will hear a radio presenter interviewing a woman about the infamous ship Titanic. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Now listen carefully to the interview and answer questions 11 to 16.
Good afternoon to all our listeners and welcome back to History Now, a weekly program that reflects on subjects of historical influence. Today we are going to speak with Dr. Andrea Smithson, an historian at the University of Glasgow. Good afternoon, Andrea.
Good afternoon, Peter.
What are you going to talk about today, Andrea?
I'll be talking about one of the most catastrophic events in maritime history, the sinking of the Titanic.
I can't wait for you to begin.
Thanks, Peter. The Titanic was an enormous ship. The makers called it unsinkable. From end to end, it measured approximately the length of 3 football pitches. It had the capacity to carry over 3,500 passengers, as well as the over 800 people on the crew of the ship. Despite its massive size and impressive capacity, the Titanic was able to cruise at a speed of 40 knots. This was in large part due to the 59,000 horsepower engine. Just how much is 59,000 HP? Well, in literal terms, it's like being pulled by 59,000 horses. More realistically, it's the equivalent power of 500 cars. On the maiden voyage that left Southampton, England, on the 10th of April 1912, there were 1,343 passengers and 885 crew members. There were 3 different classes of tickets for those aboard the Titanic. A third-class ticket was the lowest level ticket. At the time, it cost between £3 and £8. A second-class ticket cost about £12. A first-class ticket cost anywhere from £30 all the way up to £870. In today's money, £870 is over £20,000. You may be wondering what the people in the first class were paying for. They had luxurious rooms on the highest decks, delicious meals for breakfast, lunch and dinner, as well as the finest entertainment money could buy. On the other hand, those in third class slept in cramped rooms which were quite plain and small and did not have access to the fine restaurants and entertainment on the upper decks of the ship. Now I'd like to tell you about a few lesser known facts about the Titanic. Although there were 4 large funnels, or smokestacks, on the Titanic, only 3 of them were functional. One of the funnels was put there just to make the ship look even bigger and more impressive. The ship carried over 70 tons of food for the passengers, including over 40,000 eggs.
You now have some time to look at questions 17 to 20. Now listen to the rest of the interview and answer questions 17 to 20.
On the night of the 14th of April 1912, on her maiden voyage, the Titanic hit an iceberg. About 3 hours later, early morning the next day, the ship sank. The reasons for the sinking are numerous. First, the watertight doors, which were supposed to keep water out, didn't work properly. Second, the night of the 14th of April was incredibly calm on the water. Icebergs are easily spotted when there are waves crashing against them. On this night, there were no waves. The strength of the metal in the Titanic was not as it should have been. The metal became brittle in the freezing cold and was easily broken by the iceberg. Another big factor was the inability of the Titanic to turn quickly. Once the lookouts had spotted the iceberg, the captain ordered the ship turned, but it was too late. If the ship had been able to turn faster, it would have missed the iceberg. One of the biggest tragedies about the sinking was that there were not enough lifeboats for everyone on the ship. In addition to this, many of the lifeboats left the sinking vessel with less than half of the people they were designed to carry. For example, the first lifeboat off the Titanic left with only 27 of the allotted 65 passengers. This unfortunate occurrence can be attributed to panic on the part of the passengers and crew. One can only imagine the sheer terror on board the ship that early morning. 1,523 out of the 2,228 passengers and crew perished that morning. Most died from the near freezing temperature of the Atlantic Ocean. Others drowned after being trapped in the lower decks. 705 people lived to tell their story, most of them women and children who were put on the lifeboats before the grown men were. Because of this, 94% of the first-class passenger women and children were saved, while only 14% of the third-class passenger men survived. Overall, 60% of the first-class occupants survived, while only 25% of the third-class ticket holders lived in the aftermath of this tragedy.
That is the end of section 2. You will now have half a minute to check your answers.
Okay, students, so that is section 2. Again, please, students, respect each other. Don't write into the chat until we do it together, especially if you're giving wrong answers, as some of you are. All right, number 11. What was the overall capacity of the Titanic? Now, you saw that when they said, oh, you have some time to review questions 11 to 16. I looked at the picture. Pictures are worth 1,000 words. They really help. So looking at the picture for a quick second helps you understand the other questions. So if you have pictures, look at them carefully. So what was the overall capacity of the Titanic? 800, 3,500, 4,300. The correct answer is, drum roll, C. C, because it's 800 crew members plus 3,500 passengers equals 4,300. Okay. Sometimes the IELTS exam will get you to do a little bit of math, simple math. This is called an inference type question. So you had to understand that it has 800 crew, 3,500 passengers. The overall, which means the total, is 4,300. Okay, simple addition, inference type question. That's why multiple choice, you need to be able to provide your own answers. All right, number 12. What was the cost of a third-class ticket? How much did it cost? What was the cost of a third-class ticket? 30 to 870 pounds. That doesn't make sense. That's a lot of money, even in today's standard. Between 1 and 2 pounds? I don't know. Or between 3 and 8. Yeah, it's between 3 and 8 pounds, okay? So the correct answer there was C, between 3 and 8 pounds. That was the cost of a third-class ticket. All right, then you had to choose 3. This is 3 questions. It's worth 3 marks. So here you have question box 13, 14, and 15 on your answer sheet. The order does not matter. Make sure you pay attention during the review time for these. So what were the benefits of a first-class ticket? Okay. Sana says it's BDG. Parvinder says it's ABD. Mahinder says it's BCD. Pachu said it's BDC. Okay, there's some mistakes there. So one was luxurious rooms. That makes sense. I mean, if you're paying a lot of money at a hotel or on a cruise ship, you're going to get a luxurious room. So B was definitely said. The finest entertainment money can buy. C, definitely. Okay. High quality meals. Yeah, it says some fine restaurants. So D. B, C, D are the correct answers. There's nothing about casinos. Lower deck rooms was for third-class passengers. Watertight doors was the safety feature of the ship. So it's completely different. Okay, so B, C, D doesn't matter which order you said that in. So B, C, D, as long as you have it for those 3. Okay, number 16. Here you had to choose the correct picture or diagram. Which of the following is the best representation of the Titanic? Now you notice that here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 smokestacks. 1, 2, 3, 4 smokestacks. 1 through 3 smokestacks. Which is the way that the Titanic actually looked? B, yeah. Bonus question. If this question is, which one shows the true working Titanic? So which is the true picture of the functioning ship? Then what would it be? Nirmaljit says, well, in that case, it would be C. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, C. Because one of the smokestacks was just for show, was just to make it look even bigger, right? But only actually 3 of these furnaces worked to power the engine, right? It was interesting. They should have used that space for the 4th one to add some more lifeboats. All right. Now here we have a flow chart. So this happened first, this happened second, this happened third. Now you probably realize that the information in the in the audio does not come in the same order. Here it's the sequence. This happened first, this happened second, third. You have to be very careful. So extremely calm night, no what? That's right, Farhan. One of those smokestacks was just a fake. Number 17 is waves. Yeah, no waves crashed against the iceberg. So they didn't see the iceberg. The Titanic hit the iceberg. So first, nobody sees the iceberg because there's no waves. Next, the Titanic hits the iceberg. The watertight what fails? The watertight, what's number 18? What fails? That's right, Amina. Very good. The watertight doors fail. And it is plural. No S, no mark. No S, no mark. Pay attention, okay? Waves are countable. Doors are countable in English. So waves, doors. 2 more. Many something left the ship half full. What left the ship? So the watertight doors fail. The Titanic's sinking. What's leaving? Nimish, Nirmaljit Sana, very good. It's lifeboats. 1 word. It's a good word to know. Again, S, because of many. So lifeboats. Yeah, many lifeboats. Not Mahindra, I don't think you'll get it for just boats. Okay, Mahindra, I think you're going to need the word life in there as well. 1,523 people die, most from the freezing cold temperatures of the. Now, you see the here? That means that this is a unique or a special noun. Okay, it's a unique noun or a proper noun, as we say in English. Bashar, I'm sorry, it is not the Pacific Ocean. It is the Atlantic Ocean. Parvinder Kaur, very good. Atlantic Ocean. It's a name. The A and the O must be capital. If you have a small o, it's wrong. Why? Because in English, it's a rule that you have to have a big O when it's part of the name, ocean, Atlantic Ocean. Okay, so large O, all right? If it's a small o, you'll get it wrong, unfortunately, because it's not correct English. If you look at a map, an English map of the world, you'll see that when you see Pacific Ocean, the O is also big, as well as the P. If you see the Mediterranean Sea, the S will also be big, along with the M. When you look at famous lakes like Lake Superior or Lake Huron, the Great Lakes, you'll see that the L is also capital. Okay. All right, students. So, how did you do in section 2? What did you get? What was your score out of 10? So, how did you score from 10? For Dobbs, 8. Yeah, it's not bad. Okay, that's good. Rahul says 7 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Tina says 6. See what I mean, students? That if you score like 8, 9, 10 on section 1, Section 2, it's much more common to have 7, 8, 6, much more common for those, right? So that's what I was showing you about how scores decrease as you get into the more difficult sections. All right, students, save your scores. We will do the other half of this listening section, not tomorrow, but on Wednesday. Tomorrow, we do have some more classes. Let me check for you what that is. Yeah. So tomorrow we have speaking part 2 for members at 1:30 in the afternoon, Central European Time. And then for everybody at this time, 3 to 4 o'clock Central European Time, we have reading practice. Again, students, all of these materials, 6 original practice exams, fully interactive course, over 100 hours of video lessons, come from our websites. For the academic version of our website, go here, click that big red button to join, and you can apply the code here. Use the coupon code when you click that blue button. You can use the code LIVE20. I think it's a little bit bright for you to see that, yeah. But that's okay. If you're studying for the general, go to this website here, click on that big red button there. Have a great day, everyone. I look forward to teaching you tomorrow. Thank you for your participation. Remember to practice and study lots. Use these tips, practice these tips. Much love to all of you. Bye for now.